Hello, hello. It's Dr. Toya. I know it's been a minute, but I wanted to come on and do another video to let you guys know some more about By Default. And, I got this in the mail from ACOG, that's the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. And it's a flyer for the whooping cough vaccine. And what stood out to me was this black mama here with her braids and everything, and it made me so happy. And it made me realize that I really need to do this video. I'm gonna explain more about this in a second. So the question that I wanted to come on and answer was, who is By Default for? Who can use this site? And that's actually two separate questions, so I'll answer them separately. So who can use the site? Anyone, right? It's a free open site. There's no membership, there's no fee or anything like that. So anyone could come on and use it. And if you're a person of color, a lot of the beauty products and things like that you can use. Even if you're not a person of color, if you want to support a black business, or you have a family member or a friend who is black and you want to get them something that was made especially for them, By Default is the place, right? So the second question is, who is the website for? And it's easy. It's for black people, right? And I'll tell two stories that kind of are my motivation for making something specifically for black people, and then go into some more of the explanation. So there's a reason I'm wearing this, right? Because these stories are not meant to bash anybody, not meant to talk bad about any other group or anything like that. I just want to make that clear. But the first story happened to me a couple years ago at a previous job. I was standing in a group of people, and I was the only black person, and there was another person of color there. And I don't even remember how it came up, but the other person of color made a statement about not washing your hair, right? He said that somebody else, didn't wash their hair every day, and he thought that was so gross, and he was going on and on about it. And I just stood there like, well, I don't wash my hair every day. I didn't say anything because I really was not in the mood to entertain that conversation. But, it made me feel some type of way. He's basically saying that my habits and my routine was gross, right? So that was, one small thing. And then something else that happened to me and my husband. So just to set the stage, when I turned 30, my dream was to dive the Great Barrier Reef, right? I decided that's what I wanted to do, and that's what I was going to do. The problem was, didn't know how to dive. So me and my husband went to, well, we weren't married at that time. We went to a dive class, and we were the only black people there, but there was another person of color in the class as well. And my husband and I, we love us some us, right? So we're used to people complimenting us about how we're so cute and all this stuff. So when the instructor, who was white, came up to us in the middle of the class and put his hand on our shoulders and said, "You two, do you guys know how to swim?" We were like, "What?" So I turned to him, I was like, "Do people come to learn to dive and can't swim?" And he goes, "Well, you people usually don't know how to swim." And I literally said, "What do you mean, you people?" And, the conversation went on. I'm there trying to stop my husband from hitting this guy. And then up jumps the other person of color in the room. And he says, "Well, yeah, he's right. Because, black people's bones are heavier. So, it's known that you guys can't usually swim." Right. The reason that I tell these two stories is not to say that other people of color who are not black have these views about us or anything like that. It's more to demonstrate that though we have similarities, they are allyships, and we have all experienced the repercussions of supremacy. There are major differences. Our experiences as black people are very different. These narratives that are told about us, that are perpetuated, these false narratives, I should say, they are so pervasive that even other people of color believe them, right? And again, this is not about bashing anybody, which is also why I didn't specify what race those people were, because it's really not important. And going back to the first story, do I think that person was intentionally trying to embarrass me or shame me? No, I don't think that at all. I think he meant well, but it still made me feel some type of way, right? I was still affected. And it's these type of microaggressions that we have to deal with all the time. So, I wanted to make a platform and a website where we didn't have to deal with all that, right? This is a no judgment zone. You don't have to explain anything. Everybody here, everybody on this platform gets it, right? We know how often you wash your hair. We know what you have to do. And it's, the hair stuff, it's the easiest thing to, talk about because it's so different than everybody else. But it goes across many other instances, right? We just have different experiences. Black people are by no means a monolith, but we can boast, if you want to call it boast, some shared experiences in this country and in the world that nobody else, no matter how much melanin you have, can say that they have experienced. So, when I saw this, and it made me so happy to see this woman with her braids being advertised on a national level. I want people, when they come to my site, to feel like I felt when I saw this, right? I want you to see yourself and just be happy. Just know that, oh, this woman has braids. She must get it. Like, I know you understand what I'm going through, or these makeup lines definitely going to have the shade for me. It makes you feel good when somebody makes something just for you, right? Somebody tells you, oh, I made this card just for you, or I was thinking about you and I thought you would like this, so I got it just for you. That makes you feel good, right? That's how I want you to feel. This is a big part of my life right now. I have a full-time job. I'm an OBGYN. I have a husband and a son, so that's another job, right? And then I've made this platform. So, I am putting everything into it for you, for us, right? So, my black people, I love you. This website, by default, is for you. It is for us. It's for the culture. It's black by default.